as pretty as I'm gonna get.
No, I was about to say, yeah. I mean, I'm comfortable enough. Yeah, I love that I kept that in. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. All these beautiful people. I'm seeing a lot of weird people running up and down at the bottom of the screen there.
Oh, we're on the internet. Nate,
We're on the internet, dude.
Didn't get a countdown or anything.
Nope.
I didn't fix my hair. Gotta fix my hair.
Man, you don't need to fix your hair. You got like the most L'Oreal straight ass hair. You do actually have wonderful hair. Like you're never going bald, dude.
I sure hope not. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but personally, I'd rather not.
Yeah, no, I go between the two of where like, this is gonna suck, and then there's other moments where I was like, maybe I could rock it. Just grow my beard out thick and then shave the head.
Right.
And then scar myself in several areas and then walk around and be like, boy. And just talk to my son in that manner. Do not cry, child. Do not cry. Be a man. And then I shake him like this.
Yep. That is very healthy.
Yeah, that's
very healthy.
Oh my god, I actually blurred the camera out with my baby shaking.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, my camera was like, what are you doing?
It was just too much. It was too much.
I think the FBI knocked out my conversation.
Casey, how was the Slipknot concert? I assume you're coming from.
Oh, shit. You came packing, Dad.
Never been much of a Slipknot fan. I like maybe 2 or 3 of their songs, but...
yeah, I could probably name 2 or 3 songs. But I just didn't get big into, like, heavy metal. What did they drag you back into after getting out?
I climbed crawled through the trenches for a long time. Yeah, I do enjoy heavy metal, but Slipknot's never really done it for me.
Sure. You know,
welcome to Heavy Metal Chat.
Yeah, welcome to Heavy Metal Chat.
It's where I talk for an hour and a half, and Dills just goes, "Sure."
Yeah, KMFDM are cool.
Even know what you just said.
I don't know. They're industrial. I got into industrial very briefly in New Orleans because there was a club out there that was like pretty metally, and then they had some industrial nights, and I was
gotcha.
Like, oh, okay, this is kind of groovy.
I guess I don't really, considering I'm not entirely sure what industrial is. I guess I never got into it.
You've seen Bad Boys 1, right?
Huh? Yeah, long time
you know when they go to the club?
Yeah.
And it's just that music that's
yeah, and you see the guys like in the window above the dance floor and stuff. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah.
That's KMFDM. That's like industrial.
Okay.
Kill myself for death metal. I know that's not what it means, but come on, wouldn't that be cool?
No, that's great.
Yeah, but anyway, welcome to Death Metal Chats.
That works.
That'd be great.
That works.
If just one day we just come up and just have a Death Metal Chat. And still link it as touching. Hi, everybody. Welcome to DF Chats. Oh, yeah, on that note, hi, my man. How are you? How you doing?
I am incredibly exhausted and possibly delirious at this point. How are you?
I'm approaching that. Different reason than yourselves.
That's true. That's true.
You know, you're out there working hard on the 9 to 5. I'm just recovering.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Feeling
from alcohol.
Quite a bit better than you were last Monday. We had to do a last-minute cancellation because you were.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I tried so hard but then there was just a moment where I caught myself like looking at Chloe like that, and I was just sweating in a blanket, and I was like,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna cancel. I was battling to function.
That was probably wise.
Oh yeah, it got scary. The first 2 days I was great. I was like, oh, this is a vacation, and then the 3rd day hit. I was like, oh no, it's not. And, so I had 2 days of productivity before it knocked me out.
Got it. Yeah,
but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back.
You're doing better now, so that's good.
Thank you.
That's
good.
Good.
And I'm excited for this topic. We wanted to talk about this last week because we had Adventure Gaming 01. Another viewer was on here running a 2-player game and they wanted to incorporate mysteries and riddles and like more inside a long-term effect into their game. That's kind of something that they were after, and that just sounded like a very interesting topic. So, yeah, that's what we did. And I was really excited to do it last time, but just the mystery would be like, how am I alive? But for those of you who are joining us inside the chat, welcome to Team Chatz. If you're new, well, also welcome if you're not new. You're still welcome. But yeah, depends. We'll let Nightbot decide. Nightbot is extremely sassy. I apologize if they block you for spamming emojis. Please feel free to yell at them though. It's quite fun. We had a lot of fun, but please don't get yourself kicked and banned.
Yeah, because it seems to compound too. Like the more you do it, the more length of time you're banned from the chat or something.
It got personal.
Yeah,
it got personal, and I'm glad you nipped it in the bud.
Yeah, I think by the end there, Bedlam. I don't know if Bedlam's out there this evening, but Bedlam had like a 10-minute chat ban or something because of the Gestapo that is Nightbot.
Hey, there's Bedlam. What's up, Bedlam? We were just talking about you, man.
Nope, you're late.
Oh my god. Dad, what did we just say?
Wow.
Oh my god, am I gonna have to go to the options and sort this shit out?
Mariachi Dan's testing the fences.
Yeah, Dad came sassy today. I love it. Yeah, for those of you joining, you'll notice there's a delightful little stream avatars. There's a whole bunch of cool commands like basketball and whatnot that you could do. We might get into a boss battle later, so if you want to stick around and have some fun, please by all means pick an avatar and have fun. Exclamation commands, you can figure out a whole bunch of fun stuff to do. It's great. But there's also some rules inside the chat. We're going to talk about this topic, but this isn't specifically just Casey and myself. Please talk to us. Questions, stories, queries, ideas, theories. We love to hear it all. A lot of our favorite moments of this chat is just talking to you guys and listening to your experiences and stuff. And this one I think could be, we're probably going to get a lot of opinions on this one.
Because who really wants to listen to us, just the two of us, talk for like an hour and a half? So let's, we'll get the other folks involved too.
Exactly. But yeah, so today we're talking about mysteries. So in this case, I think we're going to be talking a little bit more so on mysteries being involved inside campaigns in a little bit more of a long-term scheme. Things like riddles that we mentioned over there is going to be a fun discussion to have, but I like the idea of us talking a little bit more about branching out some mysteries. You found something that piqued your curiosity, one of the players' curiosities, and they're going off on a tangent because they're really into it, so now you've decided, alright, they seem to be really excited about this mystery, I'm going to incorporate this into the adventure, and just let it pan out that way. And, we might go off tangent. Sorry if we do. It happens. Feel free to tell us in the comments. Answer, please? And then, we'll get to it.
I got distracted there for a second. I realized that there's Mortal Kombat avatars, so I made myself Raiden down there.
Oh, there we go. Yep, there's some Mortal Kombat down there. I think right now we're Shogun Arath. He's just cute with all his little tentacles. Wee, look at him jump.
I love it.
I love him so much.
Anyway.
Sorry. Yeah, anyway.
So I guess initially, as I was thinking about some of this, I was thinking a little bit more on the kind of short-term stuff, but I was thinking on also some broad, long-term things as well.
Wonderful.
Because I think, well, as far as like for the short-term
Shank Redemption.
For the short-term stuff. Wow, it looks like my camera's a lot blurrier than yours. Whatever.
It might just be my side as well.
Who knows? The short-term stuff. Well, I still can't say it. There are a lot of, if you ever find yourself struggling with some of the stuff like that, I do recommend looking at some of the Wizard source books because they have a lot of resources in there to help with those things, like puzzles and things like that. Tasha's in particular has, near the back of it, Actually, I think it's like one of the last sections has actually fairly well developed puzzles from easy to hard, and even a little section in it afterward that says like, how do you customize this for your adventure? And it'll be like, hey, if you've got a character, this you could put in their backstory here. It's actually a pretty neat little thing. Yeah. So don't sleep on some of the source books, because you don't have to make everything up out of your head. Sometimes you can use some stuff and sprinkle it in, or slightly adjust it to suit your needs.
Or simply get inspired.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I mean, Candlekeep Mysteries is fantastic options for, small little puzzles and things like that. Because I think when it comes to riddles, it's you cross a dangerous territory of fighting the maiden knowledge kind of thing.
Sure.
The player playing the barbarian might come up with the idea immediately like that, but they're and not to stereotype barbarians.
No,
we don't do that here. But
hey, Borla's got a flat 10 on intelligence, so she ain't no dummy.
No, she's not a dummy at all,
man. She's just not super intelligent. Actually, to that, when it comes to mysteries and puzzles and trying to figure out, because a lot of what I think inspired mystery is creating a kind of a unique problem that they need to think out and not necessarily just hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
But in that respect, I have played a dumber character that I just kind of, a puzzle came up and I was like, my character would not be interested in this. I wouldn't have any real way of figuring it out. So I kind of sit back and I let the other players do their thing. But in the same respect, because some things like that can get a little crazy, and figuring it out as a group is part of the fun. I think sometimes, maybe depending on how you want to run your game, leaning back out of like, all right, you can meta a little bit on this one. Yeah. It's more fun if everyone gets to figure out the puzzle that way. So if you're going to be strict about cross-talking at the table or meta knowledge and things like that, maybe with the puzzles, the guy who's playing the barbarian actually really loves these kind of things, so don't shit on his fun.
Exactly that. Like, once again, very well put, you could just trust your player.
Yeah.
And if you trust your players and they have fun, and sometimes just the notion of, I know what this is, but my character doesn't know it, and you're just sitting there sweating. That alone sometimes enough is fun. If it's like a low stakes, nobody's gonna die because you didn't get to say it kind of thing.
Yeah,
then that's perfectly acceptable fun.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to say like, hey, you wouldn't actually know that this monster has resistance to lightning damage than I would to go, like, oops, the barbarian just went, I guess this one, and happens to get it right. And while the player actually knew the answer, you can still roleplay it as an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, with stuff like that, for me personally, how I'd run it, I'd be a lot less inclined to get on people's cases about player knowledge.
Exactly. If it doesn't break the immersion, then, I mean...
Sure.
Yeah.
And Sphinxes are great for doing the riddles.
Yes.
Yeah, I did throw one at some of my players, and old Bedlam was just like,
oh really?
Yeah.
Hey, love it. Yeah,
and he was playing a character that had an affliction that caused his intelligence to be lower, but it was fine.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a big deal. He got a cool item that enhanced some other things, but unfortunately his intelligence took a hit as a sacrifice for the benefits of the other things.
I see.
It was a enhances their wisdom but lowers their intelligence. They became a little bit instinctually wise but less kind of thinky.
Sure.
Yeah. And that was an example of an item. I took a pre-existing item and then kind of twisted it into something else. And you can call it a homebrew, but I call it homebrew inspired by someone else's homebrew.
I mean, all great ideas are borrowed, right?
Yeah, I'd say most of them at least.
Yeah, that's very true.
But yeah, there's lots of options, lots of sources out there. Have fun with it. Puzzles and riddles and things like that are part of the beauty of just having a blast playing D&D.
Yeah, exactly that.
And it can give you great opportunities for roleplay. Like if you're having trouble getting people into roleplay, sometimes putting a puzzle out there, hell, just the entire concept of a mystery campaign or a mystery side quest, oftentimes will get the players to roleplay a little bit more because they have to think or talk their way through issues as opposed to, again, just hit it with a hammer.
Smashies. Which, I mean, smashies will always be fun.
Hey, sometimes some puzzles can be solved by smashies.
That's true. 100%.
I highly recommend that if there's a door barring the way, maybe that door should have an armor class and hit points, because some players will just get real frustrated and they've got a lot of fireballs.
And the urge to use them.
And that's why the door is fire immune.
Exactly, yeah. Magic. Well, I mean, magic's always a great topic, especially for, like, designing it. Also, yeah, sorry, Casey's video's hopping in and out. I'm getting the notification you got the lower bandwidth or whatever, but...
I can, here's what I can do, because I've already shown off my pretty hair for the evening. I can kill my video.
Okay, there we go.
It might help with the bandwidth a little bit.
Yeah.
As long as y'all can hear me, that's the more important part.
Exactly that, yeah.
Hopefully my face is frozen in a beautiful way.
It's not, it just says your name. But go ahead and turn your video on, and then if it starts freaking out, I'll let you know. And then we can adjust from there.
That shows how bad mine is lagging too. It's still before I even turned off when I look at our...
Oh, really? Yeah.
Our thing. Yeah,
Oh, dear.
I am gonna go on the record in front of the entire internet.
Oh shit, heard it here first.
I am not a fan of the company formerly known as Time Warner, now rebranded as Spectrum. I hate them.
Alrighty. Welcome to DM standing for Damn Man. Tell us how you really feel. Alright, so, sorry, as you were saying, you brought up, we're talking about magic, the usage of magic.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, that was something I kind of came across as a really good note when it comes to planning out a mystery and developing clues for characters to find. Because essentially, when it comes to mysteries, if it's not a riddle, or maybe even sometimes for a riddle, oh shit, we have a duel. Damn, Casey. Casey gone, Marriott, damn. Oh god, these new sprites are so cool. Look at that, okay.
I think I'm losing.
Yeah, spoiler.
Wait, yeah, because mine's like way behind, so I still have hope on my end.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna do it.
Huh? Oh, that'd be crit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he takes you out, dude.
Anyway, magic.
But yeah, sorry. The idea of if you're planning through clues, there's so many spells that can be utilized to make life, like solving a mystery, so much easier. You know, if you're solving a murder, Speak with Dead is right fucking there.
Yes.
You know, so if you don't want them to find out, like, immediately, if it's not like you put this here to plant the name of someone creepy, if you don't want them to know that, plan for that they get rid of the corpse. Is it too mangled beyond recognition? Like, what's out there? Things like Zone of Truth is out there. Detect Magic is a huge thing.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the spell. My favorite spell, where you can literally pull a memory out of somebody's head, very briefly. There's a lot. So, and it's not to say that
there's like detect thoughts and whether or not you get surface thoughts, whether or not you want to push further in, letting them know you're doing it, but you could pull a secret out of there or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Just whoop. That's mine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but I love it. And I love that there's built-in risks to things like that.
Yes.
And it's fairly high level, but you've got like alter memory as well. That after you interrogated someone, you could, or modified memory, you could always like mess with that memory. It's like,
Yeah.
All we did was have a nice chat about the weather. That's it.
Or you could straight up frame someone.
Oof.
Yeah.
I got dark real quick.
Yeah, you really could. You know?
I mean, you could, yeah.
Instead of it being the mother trying to feed her kids, it was this son of a bitch who's raising taxes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no, I was just when it comes to planning out your clues, be aware that those exist. And not to say like, oh shit, they're gonna find out. The point of a mystery is for your players to find out.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're trying to keep them from doing it. You're just trying to make it more involved and interesting to do it.
Yeah.
And so put in cool things for them to use their spells.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Players might have already used the spell, so you know that it's going on, or maybe just pay attention to what they could possibly have at that level, as much as you can as a DM, but knowing like, okay, I know such and such level cleric has access to speak with the dead, so that's something that, maybe if they go this route, be ready to give certain tidbits of hints or clues or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe something was magically hidden by like, what is that? That like a dust that covers up footprints.
Oh, sure. Lead.
And
lead is a big thing. Any kind of protection from divinity.
Well, I just mean like normally as they went through, they wouldn't find anything, but there's something illusory or something that's removed something that if they use, say, detect magic, they would suddenly go, there's that extra clue that the normal, constabulary wouldn't have been able to find.
Exactly that. Your average Joe is now ruled out. This is some intense magic that knocks the suspect list down.
Yeah, it's like, they thought this was just a robbery or a serial killer or something, but while it may be those things, why is this person adept at magic?
Yeah, exactly.
It adds those little extra enticements, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Oh, something that while I was researching this topic, there's a particular, I guess like sort of homebrew, I don't know, addition to add to 5e, called the Gumshoe playbook. And it's how to like incorporate, more of a Gumshoe kind of feel into your game.
Sure.
And one of the big things is kind of like the maiden knowledge of all of it is that people will typically find clues based on their stats and their proficiencies and things like that. So someone with like a high nature would naturally notice a particular clue. This person hasn't been looking after their plants, or this place has been abandoned, but this plant is extremely healthy. So that's information that when the DM describes the room that you guys enter or something, that immediately you will get solely because of it. And the whole philosophy behind it is that finding a clue, that's a lot. That's cool and that's rewarding. There's stats like investigation, blah 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 for it, right? But the real meat of it all is deciphering a clue. Taking it apart. What does this mean? What can we do with this? Let's put this over here or whatever. So the finding of the clues becomes less arduous, and it becomes more based on, we have these clues, but what the fuck does it mean kind of thing. It's kind of like when you play like a hunter-killer game, like those board games, whatever. You have all the clues in there. You just, the fun part about it is figuring out what the fuck it means kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
which I thought was really cool, because number one, people are immediately going to stick to their strengths rather than that.
Yeah. We kind of, and you can open it up to them if you're, as a DM, ready to kind of run with whatever they're about to say. But like we talked about traveling or certain things like that, how you can always ask somebody, how would you like to investigate this room, or what are you doing? What skills are you putting to the test here? So if someone says, well, I got a high nature, is there anything to do with that? Have them roll nature, or ask them, hey, how do you think nature would help you in this situation? And they may ask something like that. Does it look like they have plants around? Has it been watered in a while? Are they, I think letting the players do some of that creative thinking for you, putting it in their hands, it gives them more agency too.
Absolutely. I mean, because you could also save the amounts of. Also, I just want to say hi to Groucho Porks, who's come and join us. Hey, Groucho Porks, thank you for joining us, Alanu. Appreciate having you here, love. Yeah, just on just the topic of it, something that I was kind of thinking in relate, because the whole gumshoe thing kind of made me think of, like, people will naturally know information based on what they have, but the things that are very often overlooked, and incorporating them, things like backgrounds and tool proficiencies.
Yeah.
Could go a very, like, imagine being, like, if you have tool proficiencies with thieves' tools, you know what I mean? That alone that says a lot with every door handle that you're looking at.
It's true. You know, if someone picked the lock, if they broke it, if they came in through a window instead, because you're proficient with thieves' tools, you kind of know what kind of markings it might leave if someone had used a lockpick.
Exactly. Oh, wait, you were cooking on this day because you're the... So, you got an alibi, you were cooking on this day. Oh, that's kind of interesting. You go to the back and they have no idea what the fuck they've done. All their tools are kind of fucked up because you're proficient in cook utensils. You're like, maybe this dude's talking shit. And so, it does kind of make that whole gumshoe... People immediately find the clues. You totally
get the my cousin Benny thing, where it takes a certain amount of time to cook your grits. So you couldn't have... It had to have been longer than 10 minutes.
100%. Well fucking said, dude. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a great example of, like, incorporating... I don't know, background could be also very interesting. And then when you're coming up with clues, there could be just small things that you do in there for every individual. Because I would imagine that if you're constructing clues for people to find, you've got to have, like, one clue but split up into like 8 different parts, because people aren't going to be able to see everywhere. They're not going to be able to find everything, and 9 times out of 10 if they find a clue, they're not going to really know it's a clue. They might put it in their back pocket. They're having a conversation, so they don't entirely know. They might not investigate an area. So having all these different branches rely on the characters, on the character that they created to do it, and then number 1 makes your life easier. They're just gonna go off and, oh my god, there's another duel. Another fight! Oh shit, 2 of our dear Mariachi and Bedlam. Oh! Trouble at home. Oh no. You know what's great about this is I do see this because of the lag before everyone else does.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Is Mariachi Dan undefeated now? Jeez.
Yep.
At least for tonight. It's whatever character he picked. Nerd fight, yeah.
Nerd fight! Nerd fight! That's how we justify our opinions and our rules here. If you disagree with it, oh boy, you better roll them sleeves up.
There you go. And some of those clues lead to different things. They might all eventually... Nightbot's after Mariachi Dan again. They might lead to a different thing. Like, maybe... something you found a letter from some other family in the town, or someone in law enforcement may take them to go and ask questions, and they can get more information that way. Or they might find a clue that's more direct, that gets them kind of to skip that portion of it, set that at a higher DC or a more unique skill check, you know. But yeah, I've definitely incorporated background into... I had a cleric who grew up when they were younger in a culty like environment, so if something had more ritualistic or cult related things, I'd give them like advantage on a history check or a religion check as a result of that, because of their background. So I highly recommend using those kind of things as a way, because sometimes as a DM you'd like them to succeed on the damn roll, so having a good reason to give them advantage is always nice too.
Yeah, exactly. Because who doesn't like rolling, man?
Right.
Yeah. Also, Mariachi Dan just got timed out.
Yeah.
Nightbot? Nightbot might just have to go.
Yeah.
Might just have to go.
Bedlam learned his lesson last time. Maybe this is maybe Dan's turn.
Oh my god. I just gotta sort it out. I'll customize Nightbot out there.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? I actually wrote some stuff down here.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, a little bit. It was like prep for last time, so I have to decipher whatever my brain space I was in last time to try and figure that out.
Just play Hans Zimmer. Oh, there we go. Look at that, Groucho. This is why I love you, Groucho. This is why I love you so much. Look at that.
On timeout, Groucho Dan.
Yeah, Groucho Dan is back. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you.
I think maybe I thought Dan needed to be punished. I don't know what he did, but he probably had it.
Now I'm stuck between you and Groucho Porks here.
He probably had something coming to him.
Damn, okay.
Okay.
It's a nuisance.
Okay, so maybe, because you talked about this at the beginning, and I kind of drew us back into what you said we weren't going to talk about, which is the more specific things, but maybe broad stroke campaign ideas. I need to stop waving, because that's probably not helping the bandwidth, having a lot of movement on screen.
You express yourself how you want to express yourself, sir.
I'm going to talk like this a lot. Punish me, Nightbot.
Oh, he is back for more.
Hey, thank you, Nightbot. May I have another? Anyway, so as far as like creating mystery overall, tossing in multiple NPCs with lots of different motives is always a great one. It's a classic like mystery or thriller film or play kind of or book tool to just make everybody have a motive. It's the Agatha Christie. It's the everybody has a reason. So go down those paths, and honestly, you don't even have to necessarily try that hard, because players oftentimes will create their own suspicions.
Very true.
If you have one time an NPC lies to them, the rest of the campaign they will not trust any NPC.
No.
They're gonna assume that little kid picking flowers on the side of the road is there to trap you.
I mean, you suck somebody up with a mimic, they're gonna hit everything.
Yep. They don't trust chairs anymore, doors, anything.
Couch. I'm sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Mimics don't have to just be treasure chests. They can be whatever the hell you want.
Oh, yeah. They could be a whole house.
They could be a whole house.
Yeah. I was trying to... I had another point over here, and honestly, I lost mine.
Oh. Well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you have...
I had other just random notes that I could try and re-spark the conversation.
Oh, sorry. Please, follow me.
Just another way to create tension, not so much mystery necessarily, but to create tension is to have some sort of timeline on things. It can, you're always more nervous if you're running up against a deadline. We have to solve this by the end of this, otherwise they'll get away, or otherwise this person will strike again, or the eclipse is tomorrow and that's when they're doing the ritual, so we have to figure out where they're going to be or who's doing it. That kind of stuff. It's a kid picking flowers lure on a giant land anglerfish. I'm not saying I'm not gonna use that now.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be in campaign 2, bro. It's gonna start being in the most not a kid where a kid picking flowers should be. It'll just be on your ship while you're sailing. Be like, wait, what?
Yeah, if you want to create something spooky, put a kid in a place they really should not be. That's creepy.
That is terrifying.
Spooky children, that always works. That's a great way to create mystery. But time limits are always good. I'd be careful about doing a real intense time limit for a long-term campaign because the players never feel like they have any downtime. I have made that mistake before, so you got to be careful about making it where they do have a lot of time where they can't, and like, I want to spend some time figuring this thing out in our our house or whatever they're at.
Yeah.
Or I want to spend some, I want to work on building this kind of thing, or creating a spell scroll for someone to use or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Looking through a book that they have. They got to go through a book. It takes time.
Yeah, you don't have to role play every single day at a downtime, but you can go, hey, if there's something you wanted to do, you've got a week to do it.
Yeah. Start planning it out, and we can see where things go.
Exactly. But if you do want to create tension, time limits are one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah.
It can intensify everything that's going on. The action gets more intense. The having to find clues quicker is better. And yeah.
On that note, actually, so the idea of having a ticking time bomb is it kind of incorporates into this idea I had of how to go about structuring another aspect of clues or whatever. Is that people know that, like, the players through one way or another might end up knowing where to find the next clue. Getting there, however, very difficult. You know what I mean? We know, a classic example is early game, there's a rich aristocrat who has a particular scroll or a book or something inside his office in this giant mansion in the nice area of town where there's always guards walking around, kind of thing.
Heist.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, cool. We know where the clue is. We know how to get it. Now we just have to do it. And then with the ticking time being going on, it's like, or you only have that one frame of time. Or
there's no way to get in unless you get invited to a party that he's throwing.
There we go.
So then they have to, they work their way into the party somehow, maybe as guests, maybe they try and get in there as caterers or something.
Exactly.
And then you have to deal with them trying to blend in at the party, but also trying to find that thing, Look to books and movies for inspiration on that kind of stuff, because it's great. It works. And the players will create the most unbelievable amount of chaos in that kind of situation.
Yep, 100%. Oh man, there's such a great brand. I mean, I think I've brought them up before, but D&D, Dinner and Dungeons and Dragons, is such a great podcast, and I think it's very early level. I think maybe they're level 5, 6 at this point. They have to do the exact thing where they go to a ball.
Oh, nice.
The sorcerer is just kind of over how everyone's just kind of do or whatever. He's like, let's just get people dancing, let's get things going or whatever. And then between them and the bard, who's going to go up the stairs and distract the guards, they're going to create enough of a distraction for people to start investigating. And so one of the rangers doesn't really know how to dance, and so the sorcerer takes them and some other people, and with good chicks, starts getting people dancing on the dance floor. Music's playing, and then as people start incorporating this, and they kind of meet up on the dance floor just to do a quick, all right, I'm gonna go this way, the sorcerer gets another dance going by casting a spell into the air to to whatever. But they were a wild magic sorcerer, and the DM asked them to roll on the chart, a fireball got casted in the dead center of him and killed 6 of the guests. One of the players was completely knocked out, and chaos just erupted, and it was one of the best and most hilarious sequences. The gnome bard dragged the dead ranger to a store closet where they found potions, and he just poured different potions into the ranger's mouth to hopefully save him. And so all this weird shit was happening to the ranger. It was beautiful chaos, and it all came out of that whole, they had a plan, and the DM knew exactly where they were going to go with it. They had enough information to proceed further in the story, and he's like, alright, cool, let's make this fun and see what happens. And it just ended up in this beautiful moment. And so having
just a beautiful moment where innocent people were murdered.
Yeah, it was like an old lady too, I think.
Oh.
I think he was dancing with an old lady. Oh, there we go, exactly. Bedlam just did a wonderful little loop around. Is blending in as caterers is exactly where cooking tool proficiencies would come in.
That's true.
100%.
I think there is a cooking feat too. I think.
Yeah, the chef feat. They added it with
chef. That's right.
Tasha's.
I think it's Tasha's. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Tasha's added so many just ridiculous things, and
I love it. I love Tasha so much, just because of that. But yeah, so that's a fantastic way to go about it. I mean, shit, you could do that with anything. Mm-hmm. You know, like you mason tools, and you're like, hey, we're just inspecting before every event. We're linked with the caterers, blah blah blah. Deception, cool. You can get a cool little outskirts of the land. Now you got a blueprint. You know where to start. You can get really creative with
it. You're bound to have somebody who can like sweet talk or deceive their way into something, because there are a lot of charisma casters in 5e.
It's like 5.
Right? Let me think.
Sorcerer, warlock. Bard, thank you. Oops, the actual face of the team.
Yeah. Paladin, sorcerer, warlock, bard. At the very least, those 4 just that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Considering intelligence casters, there's the wizard and the
artificer.
I guess the artificer, and technically the rogue, I believe.
Yeah. They use
but before artificer, there were only 2. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then I guess Blood Hunter, technically, if you go one path and if you count Matthew Mercer's. Because
gotcha.
Order of the Profane Soul, I think you can use spells.
Gotcha. I have played a Blood Hunter. It is a lot of fun, but I did not play the Profane Soul.
Hey, there we go. We have a new first-time viewer. Evil Marksman has the perfect campaign idea for this discussion. First of all, hello, welcome.
Hello.
And please, let us hear. We would love to. Let's talk about this perfect campaign idea. And don't worry, it's on the internet. No one is going to steal your idea and put it online before you do. Just so
it's true.
Yeah.
No one's history.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we would never do that. This is not stuff here.
While they are responding, although you probably will see that before I do, I just don't want to leave empty space. We're just staring at the screen. Just trying to think. Oh, have fun with, if you are, we talked about...
Have fun?
We talked about possibility of like a ritual happening or something like that. I kind of briefly mentioned like there's an eclipse or something like that.
The blood moon eclipse, I think, was about earlier.
Have fun with kind of messing around with some of the rules, homebrewing, or just bending like Arcana rolls and things like that, just to kind of gloss over things. You don't have to get hyper specific with certain things. Like some magic is just unusual and not necessarily based on they had to have cast this specific spell to do this, so I need to know how to do that spell. Sometimes you're just using Arcana checks to try and decipher something or disable a lock or what have you. That's the kind of thing that messing with the rules a little bit is fun to do with. And I've mentioned it before, the DMG, the Dungeon Master's Guide, will even tell you to do things like that.
Yeah.
It's like, have fun.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I mean, that's...
Go ahead.
No, just that's always the first rule, right? Like, have fun.
No, first rule is don't be a dick.
First rule is don't be a dick, which ties into you can have fun if no one at the table is being a dick.
Right. Fair enough.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Else Nightbot's gonna come for you.
Or else Nightbot
is
gonna come for you.
God. Oh, Lord.
Let's see. Still waiting on Evil Marksman there.
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, we blew through the stuff that I wrote down, so.
Oh, yeah.
Now what?
Depending on what is... whoa.
This is okay.
Depending on what's... I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but depending on what is... here's a better way of putting it. I mentioned before that having lots of lore for the characters is always a good idea. And thinking about why is a town the way it is? Why do the people act a certain way? when you're thinking of motivations for why would this cult leader do this, is it just because, ooh, I like evil, dark things or whatever? Or do they have a reason they are that way? Those are the kind of little tidbits that make that mystery that much more interesting, and can even be a thread in how to find the individual.
Exactly. I was just about to go about it, like, why was this town in particular chosen? Outside from the fact that maybe it's just lesser known and kind of small. There could be millions of other things. You know, what's his face? H.P. Lovecraft is great for that kind of thing. With, like, Call of Cthulhu and these small, like, fishing towns. Like, why are these small particular towns chosen? There has to be something. Is there a reason?
A magical ley line that goes across the area that'll enhance magic at certain times of the year.
There we go. Exactly.
There's actually, going back to Tasha's, there is a section about environments, and you can roll a D100, and if it's a haunted environment, these kind of effects may happen, or if it's a environment that's in or around the far realm, it does certain things, or if it's got some holy nature to it. And even then, again, you can use those ideas to jump off of. I think there's one in the haunting one that's as simple as one night, one of the characters disappears for a moment and then reappears a foot lower than they were. So they're buried, but like they immediately wake up and people can get them out. It'd be a low DC check or something like that, but it's enough to be like, something is seriously wrong with this place.
Fuck. Yep.
So even little simple things like that are enough just to spook folks out a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I mean, Curse of Strahd's got a lot of great things too. In the revamp, there's a whole bunch of those extra things of like, just so you know, certain things, and it's like certain spells, certain things, magic behaves just a little bit differently here. There's you know, like when you revivify somebody, whatever, they wake up screaming. Like things like that.
I think some of that was in the original as well, because I haven't read the revamp, but I remember that. And also like the mage hand appears as a skeletal hand as opposed to just a spectral. Yeah, just little things like that. There's such great touches, and
polish is important, man.
Yeah. You mess around with other stuff like that, thinking about, as from a DM's perspective, if it's not listed in a module that you're playing like Strahd, how can you make something a little bit, just add that little bit of spookiness to it?
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just for flavor. It may not change anything about the spell at all, but it's enough just to make things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, polish is important, man. Alright, so we got a question from Marriage Dan, and now this awesome campaign that we're totally going to steal from Evil Marksman.
Let's check Mariachi Dan's first.
Alright. Interesting thought. How does the geography of the place make a town make a decision that brings them to do things they do? Are they secret cannibals because the soil is now dead, and because trade has been blocked by nearby kingdom? Oh, yeah.
Oh, so these are like suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, geography plays a huge part in not only just town building but also wildlife around it, because to me that's a huge thing, because building around a town is huge because not everyone's going to start inside every town, so getting into it you can really like super build up the scene. I'm going to try to think of an example here without stealing stuff from campaign 2 that I've been working on.
I mean, just that land in and of itself, Icewind Dale, the way it's set up, that environment lends to a whole lot of just that desolation, the fear. There's always this almost quite literal cloud. It's more of an aurora, but over everything. And while it's not as locked in as, say, Strahd is, where you just can't leave, that said, we haven't tried to leave. We might not be. She might not let us go if we try.
No. Yeah, there's been one group of people that have come in. Since then, but you don't know about, especially now that you guys have met her in person. So,
but feeling trapped is a good fear motivator. It's good.
100%. But I guess that's actually a great way. So in terms of geography in our Icewind Dale campaign, because the Frost Maiden has kind of put this perpetual winter on the people that live there, people are trying to appease her through sacrifices through different means. And the reasons why there are different means is because some people have more to offer than others. Some people have plenty of access to fish because they're right by a lake.
Yeah.
And so we'll sacrifice food. We hang up food for all of the creatures that are like sworn to her, etc. Some of them can't afford that. So they have a lottery and they sacrifice people. And so that's kind of the perfect example of how they're kind of locked inside the situation. All of them are trying to appease her to ensure that this doesn't happen. So how do they kind of go about it? Well, that's exactly it. What do they have to offer? Have a look at the map and then build around it that way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Always think about the environment that you're in. If you're running a campaign now and haven't really thought about how the environment affects things, I recommend it. It'll inspire you for a lot of other ideas.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. Alrighty, now let's talk about this campaign.
All right, let's see what happens here. You've read the last couple, I'll read this one.
Thank you.
Now let me wet my whistle.
Wet the whistle.
Okay. A group of lizard men using hats of disguise try to take over a small city's government, disappear the city inhabitants, and open a secret meat market in order to feed their dragon overlord. I am already sold on this.
Ooh, okay.
The PC stumbles on the small port city after a long and hard quest and seek rest in the city. All the while, the city residents, people are seemingly disappearing without much reason. Conspiracy theories arise, chaos ensues. Yeah, because you could have any type, as we have seen many times in history. We are living in plenty of that right now with the internet and so on. Conspiracy theories can range from maybe this is right, could be, to what?
To what the fuck?
Like you could have a crazy person on the street claim that they saw lizard people, and the player characters, they would assume that person is just nuts.
Yeah. 100%.
I do like the whole I like the touch of, lizard people running governments and everything like that is perfect for this, because you can actually use lizard folk. Or even shifters or something like that if you wanted to go a different route with it. But pulling in a dragon, that they're doing this for a specific reason. To harvest a city for their dragon overlord. I like that. I like that a lot.
Kinda, yeah. It's just more of a practical look. I mean, lizard folk are very practical creatures, if I remember correctly. They're very emotionless, and they don't like intelligence, but they do like practical. Like, oh, this is easy. So starting this plan to just start a meat market.
And that makes for a good way to possibly, if the players or characters can pick up on that, they might be able to identify someone who is, if they seem a little cold or emotionless, they might look at them a little bit more. And maybe there's just some guy who's cold and emotionless. But
I mean, like a pair of detectives are currently on it inside the city guard. They're currently investigating it, and they come across them at the crime scene. One of which is like so adamant to try and find this out, like, I knew this person, blah, blah, blah. And then the other cop is like, whatever, kind of vibes. And so immediately it's like, why doesn't this guy care, and why does this guy care? And right off the bat, you can start finding really, this is well done, Eva Marksman. This is cool.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. They bring up the government conspiracy. Also, making it a port city makes it normal for people to be moving in and out, or even just a trade hub. But that could be, that's another reason that maybe this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, and Marriage Dan kind of brings up like the longer they take to solve it, the harder it is, because more and more NPCs just get replaced, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is just really cool. That's gonna be fun as a DM to play.
That really could be. You'd have to, as a DM, make sure you're keeping a running log of important figures in town and who isn't a lizard.
Get your binder. Get your
binder.
And highlights. Green for lizard.
Great. And you can do this at several levels, because you could have it be a young dragon, and it still be pretty dangerous because for the lizard folk, a young dragon is going to be something still powerful and worth worshiping.
Yeah.
or serving because it's stronger than they are.
Sure.
But it could still be a really dangerous foe for your level 3, 4, or 5 players.
Absolutely.
And then you could just up that depending on where they are. So it's a fairly kind of movable tier of an adventure or a campaign, which makes for a pretty good idea.
Yeah. And I like Meritaden has got a great little side note here. You can add small things to the port town, like no one really owns cats in the entire city. Restaurants are going out of business. The whole theater district is closed down because why the fuck would lizard folk care about that? You know what I mean? And
yeah, how far along is this town? Is it mostly lizard people now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Evil Moxman. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, everyone jumped. That was cute. All the stream avatars jumped up.
Did they all jump, or did someone set off a bomb?
Yes. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely interesting. Might at some point incorporate something similar for a campaign, or maybe a one shot.
A one shot, that could be a fun one shot.
Could be a fun one shot.
Little mystery.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because the idea of the like body snatching or whatever, those kind of conspiracy spawned things has been around for a while, but I hadn't even thought to use something like that. So it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I do love the implementation of a dragon as the master behind it all. That's fun.
Yeah.
Because you could do something similar with like Illithid or Mind Flayers.
Oh, I was about to say, Mind Flayers, I think, is the first one you go to thinking of, like...
Right. But that's almost the kind of classic way of doing that. I think this is a fun little twist on that. Refreshing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, Mind Flayers and an Elder Brain, that's fun too.
Oh, good lord, yeah. Are you kidding me? I mean...
There's a reason those are some creatures that have stuck around since like...
What? Version 2?
1E?
1E? Yeah, exactly.
I think Illithid go back all the way.
All the way out, were they in the
I think they do. I think they're in first edition. I've never played first or second or third, so...
No, I've only read through 3.5, because I've been 5e the entire time.
We're late to the game. We're late to the game, but we're embracing it.
Oh, 100%. We're in love with it. I mean, we're also branching out we're also branching out to other ventures as well.
Oh, well, hello.
Yeah, I bought the whole core book, and I've been reading through it, so...
I've heard good things.
Dude, I'm very much enjoying it. It's quite intelligently done.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty successful, so...
Yeah, good for them. For 100%. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm quite smitten so far. But,
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Who knows? Maybe in the future.
Said Mariachi Dan, a couple other ideas. People forgetting where they live or having difficulty saying certain names that they should know. That's good.
Yeah.
Get the real Call of Cthulhu or 80s campy. Yeah. Which would your players, what would they be more inclined to? Something that's more of a campy 80s slasher kind of whatever body snatcher thing, or is it going to be something more creepy, Call of Cthulhu, culty kind of thing?
Exactly. Yeah. Which, I mean, comedy and horror can go together. Just pick and choose a time and place. What's the imagination potential for lizard folks?
Well, I mean, whatever you want to make it, because we're not going to be racist here.
Yeah.
No, I mean, generally speaking, they are going to not have much in the way of imagination, extremely practical. But you can have any reason why they would be slightly different or more imaginative. You don't have to play into exactly as the race is written. Yeah. Even sometimes they'll say that like they tend to be lawful evil, or they tend to be chaotic good. Even the books don't necessarily force you down one or the other when describing certain races. Now, certain monsters they do, but even then, you could make something less evil than it is listed.
Yeah, for sure. And
just have a reason for it.
In terms of like, okay, cool. So lizard folk, they tend to shun and hate intelligence a lot of the time. Sure.
Yeah.
But they are serving a dragon. Dragons can be very, very intelligent. If dragons telling them to do something, whether they want to or not, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe it's a white dragon and its intelligence isn't that high.
Exactly. It's just frozen.
I'm just really pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to catch up. There's a lot of. I love how active the active is.
By the way,
the chat is very active
today. Have been on
Sunning
point.
rocks.
Yeah, thank you everybody. It is much appreciated.
Sunning rocks and a butterfly garden. I love it.
Great.
Oh yeah, that would be really interesting if a player were actually of a lizard folk. Yeah. What would that do to the character? How would that affect them? Or what insight would they have extra that benefits them in this kind of scenario?
Be able to identify.
Yeah, absolutely. Which actually Dan mentioned that as well, just having a little extra insight into it. Yeah. Love band flesh. So that's secret stream partner and shitty lizard clothing.
Yeah, just wearing like leather over themselves to be like.
Hey, and it's been used before, so it's a little bit of a steal. But what better than after they just got done eating at the local pub, realizing later that all the meat is sourced from former travelers. Yep. Like, we just ate people.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You got a lizard folk on your team. Do they recognize the taste of this meat?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It's like, this tastes really familiar.
Oh shit, it's rich.
Yeah.
Alright, we're actually coming up on sort of an hour here, so I don't know if there's any last
see if there's any final thoughts in
there.
Yeah,
any final thoughts or questions? Sorry if a marksman kind of came towards the end there, mate. But thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. See, that's what I love. That's what I love about this. When people are just open in the chat, we can just go.
Oh yeah.
This cool idea that someone had.
Like the Crocodile Dundee 2 reference, though.
Oh my god. Hang on a second. For those that don't know. Dundee 2. Disguise. Fuck it.
Oh, you're actually looking. You're gonna share it into.
See if I can find a photo and just import it into the.
It's a fun movie. I'll give it that.
It is great. It's a classic. That's how we'll phrase it.
Sure.
There we go. I mean, this is kind of the perfect example because as soon as I started reading this is what popped into my head. So, and I think it's to the most part extremely accurate. Hang on a sec. Shit, where is it?
Yeah, my video stream disappeared, son.
There we go.
Where we go?
It's
gonna show up, and I'll see it 2 minutes later.
Yeah, that's very true.
I just realized that. Okay, there it goes. I see it now. Yep. Yeah. That's great. When he attacks his butt, I can't remember the guy's name.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
It is a fun movie though. It is a lot of fun.
Love
it. Yeah, that would be. That's just your cover picture for the campaign. Is that? I mean, once they figure out what's going on, you don't want to spoil it too early.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as what we've talked about, I want to reiterate if you're having any trouble getting the players to roleplay more, or maybe they're not as comfortable with it, you don't want to do that, that's totally okay. Don't force your players into shit like that.
Yeah.
But if you want to kind of prompt a little more because you don't feel like you're doing a good enough job, mysteries and stuff like that will get them talking like crazy at the table.
Exactly, because I mean,
Everyone's going to have a theory.
Yeah, exactly. You have one clue. It's going to be a 20-minute conversation amongst them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like when you're in an escape room and you find something, everyone's like, oh, but it's,
It's absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of avatars running around down there.
I know, it's gorgeous, man.
Crazy.
I see Groucho Corp's got a Charmander. Love it. We got a Homer Simpson running around. That's great. I mean, someone's got Red 13, and that's my boy right there. I love Red 13.
Yeah, Groucho Corp is the Charmander. Let's see. Where'd you say there was a Homer Simpson? I don't even see the Homer Simpson. Oh, there he is. Okay,
cool. Homer. Yeah, Marge. I can't do a good Homer.
I don't know that I've ever tried. I'll have to work on it at some point. I found myself in my garage yesterday trying to practice my. I think his name is Michael Wincott. He was the bad guy in The Crow, and he was the sheriff's cousin in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I think his name is Michael Wincott. I might have just stuck my foot in my mouth. I know that Bedlam probably knows what his name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, just there's good echoing. I can hear my voice a bit in the garage. So.
Oh, it's great. Mariachi Dan has been coming for you all night, and it's fucking great.
Yes. He's just jealous.
Did you not respond to a text or something?
He's just jealous. He's just jealous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I can be bad about responding to texts sometimes.
Oh shit! Who are you talking to, brother?
Let's see. Oh, can hats of disguise be seen as hats? I mean, they can.
I think that would be cool.
Generally, you don't want them to if you're the user, but maybe the lizard folk thinks that's the practical way that they can identify each other or something.
I have a hat. Yeah.
Like now we know, because it would be illusory to their own, partners and friends and stuff. If you want to call them friends, but they're other lizard companions. Yeah. So
the others.
I was right. It is Michael Wincott. He was also in Alien Resurrection. That's right.
There we go.
Which was almost a good movie for the first hour, and then just kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, I haven't seen Resurrection in ages.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
I'll say it's mostly the last 30-45 minutes that's not. It's really bad.
Yeah.
The rest of it's it's whatever. It's an alien movie.
Sure.
So.
There we go.
Anyway.
Man, already on that note.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. This has been a very active chat. We're seeing so many people out on the screen here. This is incredible. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. for our next episode.
We're switching up our time. Yeah,
we're gonna be switching up our times just to a more accessible slot for us to stream it out. So Tuesdays at 9 p.m. you can cozy up and watch them. Our episodes aren't long. We tend to keep them within the 2.5 hour range, sometimes 2 hour range.
Yeah.
It's just more digestible for people to watch at the end of the day.
We are the episode tomorrow, because it's not film, it's not live. Spoilers.
No.
The episode tomorrow is Aftermath, right?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying. I didn't want to say much, but I was trying to more I think that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's I think an even little bit shorter episode. So
yeah. So
if I recall correctly, so
it is. Yeah. That's how we tend to go about it. So Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Watch us tomorrow at 9 p.m. To continue our Icewind Dale campaign. To go on, and then join us every weekend when we have our gaming side of the channel that comes on Saturdays, and then our chats are usually here. Please come chat to us again. It's been so active, and this is fantastic, and I love you all. Thank you for the follow, Evil Marksman, and for hopping on board. Really good chatting with you, mate.
Chatting with you too.
I'm
this
loving this Mariachi Dan fight.
I was listening to you, and then I got lost in the fight.
Oh, I love it.
Mariachi Dan.
We love it. Oh, and Groucho Porks, thank you so much for coming out.
Yes.
Really appreciate you hopping on by. So yeah, thanks everybody. And if you love somebody, tell them that you love them. But until then... Also, yeah, Marriott should then say that there's a YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. Thanks.